I'm Bill Higgins, and this is a Mexico Mission Moment from Westminster Biblical Missions. Who are the purepecha? We've been working among the purepecha people for almost 20 years now, since being introduced to the people by Max Lathrop, who first translated the Bible into the purepecha language. But for some who are new to our work, it might be helpful to take a closer look at just who these purepecha people are. Called Tarascans by the Spanish, the purepecha people are centered in the northwestern area of the Mexican state of Michoacan. In pre-Columbian times, they occupied nearly all of Michoacan and parts of the surrounding states as well. They were one of the few indigenous groups who successfully repelled all the advances of the Aztecs. Now, their main centers are around the Great Lake Pátzcuaro and in the mountains around Paracho. Though the purepecha people were well established in Michoacan by the 12th century, their exact origins are still unknown. Their language is one of the most difficult in the world. There are about 200,000 speakers of the purepecha language today, and since the Indigenous Language Initiative by the Mexican government in 2000, the language now has official status and is being favored once more in the local school systems. The language has some unusual characters, which Max originally made by modifying the keys on a regular typewriter. Max was trained in engineering as well as theology. Then about 12 years ago, I created a purepecha font for use on computers, which is being used even now to write sound biblical literature in the purepecha language. The purepecha were, and still are, very skilled craftsmen, working in metal, precious stones, wood, pottery, and other materials. Even today, the guitar makers of Paracho are world famous for their skill. After the Spanish conquest, the governor of the Tarascans determined that each community would be noted for a specialized craft, this one for its copper work, that one for its instrument making, and so forth, and this model continues today. Like the Aztecs, the pre-Columbian purepecha were polytheistic, with many specialized cultural deities. Then, with the Spanish conquest, Roman Catholicism ascended as the major religion among the Tarascans, though mixed with many of the old pagan customs as well. Romanist missionaries who served both among the Aztecs and the Tarascans considered the Tarascans to be superior to all other indigenous groups in Mexico. It was not until the coming of Max Lathrop in the 40s and the translation of the Bible into their language that the purepecha heard the simple gospel of Jesus Christ to respond in evangelical faith. We thank you for your faithful prayers and support for our work among the purepecha peoples in Mexico. We covet your continued prayers for our pastors and elders and leaders in these tiny towns. Please also pray for Misael Custodio and his work there, as well as at the Seminario Teológico Juan Calvino in Mexico City, and with the Independent Presbyterian Church there. Your prayers are more valuable than you can possibly realize. How God delights to shape the outworking of His providence around the prayers of His people. Please keep praying. This has been a Mexico Mission Moment from Westminster Biblical Missions.